You would always see big stuff down the road, but you had no idea how much it cost to actually move it. Once the load is built into the system, if the load is oversized and or overweight, it would require a permit. And most of the time the permits are required so we don't end up in construction, for example, where it's 10 feet wide and our load is 12 feet wide. We also do that to avoid, obviously, bridges. Like if the bridge is 14 feet tall and we're 14 feet 6, we don't want to go onto that bridge. Permits vary by state. Some of them are flat rate fees, others charge by the mile or by the weight. Some even charge by the weight by the mile. So it just depends on the state. Some permits can be as cheap as $10. Others can go all the way up to, I think our most expensive permit we purchased so far in 2025 was $4,500. So a lot of the times, like, drivers will ask for a different route. That's always beneficial to have before we start ordering permits, just because if we already have permits ordered, then that means we have to reorder the permits. Another thing could be if drivers are loading and they are not told how to load, or there's a diagram of how they're supposed to load. If they're not given that information, then the piece can be loaded incorrectly on the trailer, which can cause it to have more dimension. So it could be taller, it could be wider, which could cause issues if permits are already ordered. Yes, so for example, Illinois will allow us to route in on I-24 right into Kentucky, but if you try to order a Kentucky permit on I-24 from the Illinois state line, you would get blocked and not be able to go. So like one state line will have it as construction and have a 10'6" width restriction, but the other state doesn't. Like US 81 right now too, into Kansas and Oklahoma has a, I think, 11-foot restriction. So like we can go in on Kansas' side, but on Oklahoma, they won't let us in. So then you have to reorder that permit too, because obviously that doesn't work. It all depends on the size of the load. Sometimes it can be super fast. Like there's a lot of permits that we can get instantly. But of course, if the load is super wide, tall, heavy, it can take a lot longer to get back. Like some of them can take up to 3 weeks to get a permit back that's of large size. I would say probably Iowa, Illinois is really good. Depending on the size, like sometimes Ohio can be decent to work with, but those are the kind of ones that stick out to me as like easy to work with. Minnesota has been really great too. Like we actually have a blade project right now in Minnesota, and the lady that we work with at the state permit office is fantastic. Like she gives us heads up, like if construction's coming up or things like that. If a driver has a specific route request, we like to have that beforehand so that we don't have to be amending or reordering permits due to a route request. So having that information ahead of time is definitely a huge win for a permit coordinator who's working on your load.